What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We have been gone a very long time from this channel, and during the grid sequence I'll explain the reason for that and why we have not seen this career mode or any videos for a long time, and what's happening with the following career mode. But we're jumping into qualifying. Leclerc sets the fastest lap. We're coming around the final corner to set our first time of qualifying. We come across the line. It's put us P6 for now, just ahead of our teammate, but that was not good enough. That put us P16 and obviously out of Q2 if we don't improve our time. Come across the line yet again, and we're going to move up to P12, which is obviously pretty handy, and then down to P18. So we had to come across the line one more time to try and get through, and it lumps us in a grand total of position 16. Once again, we miss out in the Q2. Surprise, surprise there for us. But yeah, so what happened essentially, there was a massive culling of the F1 games, and a lot of people lost their save games. So it took a very long time, and it took a lot of work to get everything how it was before. It took about a month to get all the races to finish how they did, and stuff like that. I managed to get that here. In terms of the Lando Norris one, that's something that I can't actually physically do to recreate what happened, because I lost that as well. So unfortunately, that season ended when everyone lost their save data. So it is unfortunate to say, but I've obviously got other ideas I put on the back burner because of that series, and I'll just move forward to replace it and stuff like that. There might be a different timing with these videos now, probably not every other day, just due to time constraints IRL. But other than that, I've got a cold, if you guys couldn't tell. I'm pretty rough, but obviously I needed to get this out and stuff like that. Season 2 is already being recorded now. There was a massive issue. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see what that was about. So that's going to be interesting. There's going to be 20 races on that career. But nonetheless, we are ready to get on the way here in Mexico. Starting from P14 after the penalties. And we are underway now. There or thereabouts. You can see we get off to an awful start. Nothing quite new there. We've got Hulkenberg to the left-hand side, absolutely flying down into turn 1. We've got Grosjean just ahead of us. We're going to try and see if we can pick up a position, well, as many positions as possible. We're going to hold it all the way down the inside. You can see we're making a few gains here. You've got actually George Russell up in, I believe, P11, so he's almost in the points, is George, but you might get pinched here, as Weber is actually in a bit of trouble here with Raikkonen, so the Alfa Romeos are battling pretty hard coming into turn 3 down this small little straight after the start for this straight. You can see Russell on the outside. We might fancy move down the inside of the Brit, but better not risk that. We've got Stroll on our outside, and Lance Stroll, obviously, being Stroll, it's not worth the risk. Definitely not with him. But George Russell is the car we're going to try and overtake now. We're in his slipstream. DRS not activated just yet, not until we get to the next straight. You can see we're going to go really close to his rear wing, pull to the right hand side. That puts us into P11. Magnussen is ahead of us. Magnussen's the next car that obviously we're going to try and overtake. He's battling with the Alfa Romeos, and Alfa Romeos are looking pretty racy. They have over the last few races. In Japan they did well. Obviously Russia, Weber won. So going to have to try and keep up with them as best we can. Magnussen is pretty much sitting duck at this point. Couldn't keep up with the Alfa Romeos, and we go past them with ease. Once again, the Alfa Romeos are battling, so Weber and Raikkonen here are, they're probably fighting for who's the first driver of this team at this point. We go incredibly well, which might open the door for Magnussen with his DRS, which obviously isn't ideal for us. But Raikkonen now is the next car. We're going to have a look. It's going to go all the way on the outside, a little bit on the grass, and on the curb as well, just to get past Raikkonen. Not the optimum line to try and catch up to Weber there, but Raikkonen might fancy go at us here if we're not careful. Coming on to the next lap, you can see Raikkonen stuck with us pretty well. We couldn't close the gap to Weber, and Raikkonen is going to go all the way clean around the outside. We bang tyres a little bit, and we're going to try and hold the outside line and see if we can swoop around him. But Raikkonen parks it on the middle of the track, can't really do much about that. Not really giving us any quarters in terms of ways to get around him. So Raikkonen getting very racy again. We lose time by going off the circuit, which really isn't great. We're in the DRS of Raikkonen. Might fancy move. He's going to move to the left hand side. We're going to try and hold it around the outside, but again, nothing really happening there. We've got Russell still in P11, so Russell's doing really well in his Mercedes Williams powered car. That made no sense. Swap that around. Raikkonen again is looking vulnerable into turn 1, and we're going to try to go on the inside this time. Little skip across the curb, but give him a little bit of a squeeze, and that puts us up into, I believe, P10 or P9. Coming into pits though, as our tyres were really falling off dramatically, and it's going to be a trend for this race. We did struggle quite a bit on tyres. We had no pace to keep up with Weber, who was just ahead of us, but Kubica is the car we're trying to look to overtake. He hasn't pitted, obviously we have, and he's literally hogging the road. He's literally all over the road as we come into the stadium section for the first time in this video. Beautiful section of track. It's honestly insane. many world championships have been won this race. And also, Lewis Hamilton, if he keeps doing the job he's doing, he will be crowned 2019 world champion here. So that'd be insane, man. A six-time world champion. He's only one shy of Michael Schumacher. But coming down the start-finish straight, you can see we pass all the cars. We get the undercut done on Kimi Raikkonen, which is obviously what we wanted. George Russell is just ahead of us. We've got Bottas, the guy we need to be, if possible, if we're going to secure that Red Bull seat for next year. Bottas is going to be charging us down. Want to make a very late move that could be considered aggressive in some cases, but no contact was made. I think we allowed optimum space to be able to pull that move off, and Bottas is still behind us currently, and he's definitely going to try and hold off for the rest of this Grand Prix if possible. We're almost about halfway distance through this Grand Prix. P7, I think everyone's kind of had their pit stops now. Weber's just absolutely flown off. Like, he's ahead of Vettel and Verstappen. Like, he's on another level. That Alfa Romeo car is going to be insane next season. And judging by the last few races, McLaren's going to be pretty strong as well. But here he comes, Kimi Raikkonen, trying to make a move round or outside here into this very tight 90-degree section. Give him a little bit of a squeeze here. And again, one extra squeeze to make sure we go a bit off circuit. Just, you know, we're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but Weber is just ahead of us now on track. Bottas once again trying to come for our slipstream with his DRS flap wide open. He might try and fancy a move into turn one. He might do, he might not. It looks like he's going to fancy a move as he goes down our inside there. We're going to get this all the way around the outside. Absolutely crazy defensive move here. Give him a little squeeze in the exit. We like applying that technique just so they don't get an opportunity to take us down here. But our seg pit stop on lap 24. We were doing a lot better that stint. We was able to hold quarters a little bit better, but obviously being on a different strategy to most cars, we're doing a one stop. We've got a lot of ground to make up, and hopefully we haven't got the best pace around here due to our engine package being awful, as Red Bull haven't upgraded their engine. So we are struggling in that department, but nonetheless we are going to do what we can to try and get ahead of the field. We can see we're P18, all those cars just ahead of us which have pit, which is the McLaren, the Haas, and I believe I want to say Raikkonen might be ahead of us now. I'm not entirely sure. It might be Weber. It's hard to keep track of these Alfa Romeos. They're incredibly fast. But nonetheless, you can see Lando Norris diving down the inside very aggressively on Lando Norris. Robbie Kubica once again into this section. And he ends up going into the pit lane. Hulkenberg is the next car. Not many cars stopping us from being inside the points paying positions. Coming down the start finish straight, you can see any cars pitting. There is a Red Bull, I believe, that is in the pit lane as well as Williams. That's Russell. And I believe that will be Bottas, and indeed it is. Bottas is now behind us, which is obviously great for us. We're now in the points paying positions, only P10, so we're going to need to catch up to Hulkenberg as best we can, try and dispose of him as best as possible. We might fancy move around the outside here. He covers the inside really early, which makes me question his motives. We end up going wide because we've got nowhere else to go around the outside. Down the inside here, and Grosjean is looking a bit, he's sweating a little bit. Coming on to the start-finish rate because he knows we're going to have DRS on him, hopefully, as well. With not a great exit, we have really struggled on the last corner, I'll be honest with you. But indeed, we do get DRS, so we're going to try and chase Grosjean down as best we can and hopefully get a move done in him as soon as possible. We're closing, still closing. It's going to be a last-ditch effort to try and get past him into turn one, down the inside. We're going to go side by side through the little right-hander, and we're going to bang tyres just a little bit of body work on, maybe, possibly, I don't care. We're up into P8, and Magnussen's the car ahead, so that was a very touch and go move. Grosjean might fancy move, we didn't give him a squeeze, so we're going to try and go around our outside into this left-hander. He's going to make it a bit difficult. We're going to bang tyres once again, and we'll get past him a little bit with ease, and we actually kept it on the track this time, which is obviously phenomenal. But you can see that Lewis Hamilton has won the Grand Prix, which that can only mean one thing: he is going to be world champion after this race is all done and dusted. Magnussen just a little bit too far for us to be able to try and catch him. You can see we've got a massive train behind us. We were so slow on these tyres on the last few laps, but managed to keep it good. Hulkenberg coming home in P9 just behind us. We're going to come across the line, take a solid P8.
Good job,
and,
you did really well.
not bad, not a bad race. It wasn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. But nonetheless, we did what we can. And there we go. Lewis Hamilton is crowned world champion for the 2019 season, a 6-time world champion. Arguably could be an 8-time world champion by now if it wasn't for 2007 and 2016. But the man's done the job. Can't really say anything else about that. Whether it'll continue into next year will remain to be seen until we head into Australia. But nonetheless, fair play to Lewis, getting that 6th World Championship. That's crazy. And in real life, when he becomes a 6-time World Champion this year, which is inevitable, as that's crazy. And ironically, he could end up doing that at Mexico as well, which would be pretty sweet. He has, I believe, he's won 2 championships at Mexico before, so it could be a 3rd one, which is pretty good omen for him. I'm pretty sure he likes Mexico. But here he is, celebrating in the garage with his teammates. I'm pretty sure you can see some of the YouTubers in the background at some point. I believe that's Arav with his little vlog camera out, and then you got Ben in his Mercedes overalls. But absolutely fair play to Hamilton. He obviously did bits. There's no podium, unfortunately, which I thought was a bit weird. It was just keeping me out straight to this screen. But P8, so again, overall, not too bad. Had better days. But George Russell just missing out on the points, unfortunately. Bottas P10. So we're looking good for the Red Bull seat so far. I don't think Bottas will be able to carry the fire and try and be able to do this. You can see we've got our comparisons. We're actually going to gain a little bit on both of them. Albon, bless him, hasn't really got much of a hope in hell. Devon Butler's a bit more of a fight. But that's been it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. And until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.